look at that with attorney Gloria Allred and one of her clients who is also accusing Bill Cosby of assault. They held a news conference, very emotional, just this week.
I believe that Mr. Cosby drugged me and sexually assaulted me that night. For years, I did not tell anyone about what he had done to me because I was afraid.
A voice from that emotional press conference this week, plus her lawyer, Gloria Allred, after the break.
A California lawyer alleged Wednesday that 30 years ago, Bill Cosby drugged her and tried to molest her. And after she fought back, he dropped $200 bills on a table and fled. Cosby says he can't be held responsible for his actions since at the time he was suffering from the brain damage.
That's funny. Is Keenan coming out to imitate Bill Cosby now?
No, Keenan is not coming out because of the Fat Albert and the money and the sequels.
Of course he can't talk about the movies and the groping and the pudding pop.
Because it would upset Mr. Cosby and his wife, Camille.
Wow, thanks. Great job, you guys. I didn't say any of that because Kenan Thompson loves to work. Okay, peace.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler back in 2005 riffing on the culture of silence around Bill Cosby sex assault allegations. It's a culture of silence that's fast crumbling now. More than 20 women have come forward accusing Cosby of sexual assault. 3 appearing in an emotional press conference just this week. Their lawyer, Gloria Allred, made an unorthodox ask of Cosby: waive any statutes of limitation barring these claims and let them be investigated. Joining me, one of those women, Beth Ferrier, and attorney Gloria Allred. Thank you, both of you, for your time. I know this is a difficult subject to talk about, Beth, so thank you, too, for your candor about it. I want to ask you about your earlier involvement in legal cases. This isn't the first time that you've been mentioned. You referred to as Jane Doe 5 in a 2005 lawsuit, but you never gave a deposition at the time because it was settled out of court. Tell me about that experience.
The experience still plagues my mind since I told the truth. I passed the lie detector test, and I came forward in order to help Andrea Constance, and I believed at that time that was all that was needed to be done, that I would contact National Enquirer, and that hopefully, even though it was a tabloid, and that I never mentioned anything to anyone about my relationship and involvement with Mr. Cosby or his molestation or his bad behavior in the end, that the deposition that was going to be granted was through a legal team that was going to help us all be able to speak with Andrea Constance and be able to stop this violence from occurring, and that I felt by coming forward and finally having this legal team with this deposition, we were going to be given free legal counsel, and that becoming a Jane Doe, that we had power, and that if something were to happen to me, because again, this is Bill Cosby, and our lives have been threatened over and over again, that I felt that I had safety and security in that. So,
Beth, can you be more specific about that? You say your life has specifically been threatened. By whom? By Cosby?
Absolutely.
By his team? Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Yes. Let's look at Marty Singer. Let's look what's going on right now. Look at the face of Bill Cosby right now. How frightening is that, to have him continue to say that he did not do any of these things to us? Why in the world would I lie? I passed a lie detector test, Mr. Cosby. He used my lie detector test and my photos in order to have my story stopped because he was the most afraid of me. And that was in a deposition that was just released this week from that Philadelphia piece where the settlement was done.
But Beth, that is very different from a threat against your life. I just want to be clear what we're talking about here.
I know, but you have to understand, sir, that the day I met Mr. Cosby was the day that he began to meddle in my life and take everything from me, and much like he's done to so many of these other victims, he takes you on, he becomes your mentor, he becomes your father figure, he becomes your coach, your life coach. All the time he's manipulating you, all the time, all those things that my father warned me about with modeling and whatnot, beware of. He was doing that to us, to me individually, also personally. And once I became involved with him, he did not want to let go of me. I became his possession. And even though I was married at the time, and he is too, it didn't seem to matter to him whatsoever. So a threat for my life. I've had to be years of therapy as a threatening on my life to try to continue to keep this pain and this torment of, I've told the truth since 1984. I came forward in 2005. I never got to speak to any of the other Jane Does. We never have gotten to have any of our say. And I applaud Janice Dickinson in her own warlike tactic. It's all right. It's her way. We each have to do it in our own way.
And we are seeing a great many of you
figure this piece out.
Do just that this week.
It is scary. It's the most
there was
horrific
this very emotional. I'm so sorry to
ever experience. We've been raped. We've been molested. We've had our innocence taken from us, and then we've been told that we are liars. My own family has think we're liars.
The facts, I do want to hear from Gloria, and
yes, please.
Whatever, the facts end up getting hashed out as, and there will be a great many hashings out of the facts of these cases. The pain that you were talking about certainly is real. We can all see that. Gloria, you came forward with 3 of these women, your clients, and you asked for 2 things. One, you suggested that the statute of limitations be waived by Cosby, that he invite, essentially, the investigation of these claims, and 2, that he set up a $100 million fund. My question to you is, in light of Marty Singer's latest letter, this is again from Cosby's lawyer, saying that one allegation is tainted, essentially, because of an extortion charge. Do you worry about introducing this ask for money? Do you think that at all taints the credibility?
No, not at all. Let me just say, of course, I was not the lawyer on the case in which he made that charge when he made that charge. Having said that, in reference to seeking a fund to compensate victims if retired judges would in fact find that there was credibility to the claims and it would be appropriate to award them damages from that fund, I have no problem in saying that if a victim can prove that Bill Cosby sexually assaulted her or drugged her or both, then she should be compensated. And I have invited Mr. Cosby to enter into a confidential process, let retired judges hear the claims of anyone alleged to be a victim of Mr. Cosby, and let the retired judge hear his arguments in defense, and let the retired judges decide. So there is a process so that persons who are alleged victims can have their day in court, or just do it in court. Waive and give up the statute of limitations, the time period which is arbitrarily set by law. For them to have filed their claims. He can do that. I hope that he will do that, so that then the arguments can be presented in a public forum to a judge and jury, and that's so fair. What could be fairer than what I propose?
Gloria Allred, Beth Ferrier, I so wish we had more time, but I also so appreciate your bringing that message to us. It is making a lot of waves, and as I said, whatever the facts of these cases, that pain is so real, and it takes a great deal of strength to be candid about that pain. Thank you, both of you. I hope we can continue that conversation.
We'll
be right back, everybody.